So welcome guys to Resto Designs and welcome to a new project. This is Project Joker, is what I'm going to be calling this. This car actually belongs to a good friend of mine, Victor. He's a detailer, he does loads of high-end cars and stuff, and he bought this a few years ago, wanted to start the project, didn't get around to doing it himself, couldn't find someone to do it. He asked me to do it. So the car is, like I said, by all accounts, an 89 C1 8-valve GTI, 5-door in what I can make out, I think is royal blue metallic. And the reason why I've called it Project Joker, I'm going to show you around the car now. The guy who owned it previous to Victor must have been an absolute joker. So let's start round by the interior and we start around the back of the boot. So look at that. Someone's actually sprayed that on there with, I don't know, tint spray. I mean, yeah, it's an absolute shambles. I mean, this was what was in the boot. The doors probably don't open. Nope, they don't. So, oh, no, we did, got it open. Oh, the headlining's all falling down. I love the retrim on these seats. Look at that. I think that's a bit of plastic that's been stuck on there or something. I mean, this driver's seat, let me if I can open the door. There we go, the hinge is actually knackered on it. Look at that, that's jeans. I think they've actually sewed some jeans into the into the seat. Steering wheel as well is a classic. Look at that, no central console. They've cut it there, I think, and they've also put like a little jean pocket here for that. And I think that's actually someone's sock that they've actually used as a gear gaiter. I mean, once you see that, you should be very scared of the wiring. Now the engine bay, and now we get to the good part. This hose obviously isn't original. What else? The wiring is absolutely a sham. Look at this. All these connectors, every single connector has been messed around with, and look at all these wires and all these earths on the battery. Also, I removed the airbox and intake pipe, and what I found was absolutely a joke. That's got kind of a sock or t-shirt on there, and they've done the same and they've actually put like a little belt or something around this to hold it in place. So I wonder why that they've covered that with these little socks, if there's actually a filter in the box. Maybe there isn't, and that's what they used as filtration. A moment of truth. No air filter. I've taken the plugs out because it was misfiring, and someone's actually fitted the 6 ETs, which are actually small plugs for the 16 valve, not 8-valve ones, but that's by the by. I mean, look at all of this stuff. Just plugged up everywhere and stuff. So no compression on number 4, so I'm taking it out. I'm probably taking it as a burnt valve, probably exhaust. So now that we've removed those bits, now we're gonna actually remove the wiring to the injectors, and of course, being Project Joker. Got some, literally some a lace from a trainer. Holding this on. The throttle stop switch, the micro switch to engage the idle valve wasn't connected. I mean, the plug, maybe it's this one here. I don't know, let's have a look. Okay, but that's another, not a surprise for Project Joker. That's why it's called Project Joker. So now we should be able to finally get the rail off. There we go. Okay, now that I've got access clearly to the back here, there is actually 6mm Allen key bolts that hold the inlet manifold in. So it looks like I've hit a snagging point now, because these 6mm Allen key bolts that hold the inlet manifolds seem to be kind of really tight, and almost I can feel it kind of starting to give. They're going to round off. So true to Project Joker, look at that, that's a joke. Someone's actually fitted a garden hose for the Heater Matrix pipe. Now the wiring loom's actually been taped onto the cable, where it's actually supposed to go the other side of the clutch cable. Oh wow, it's got actually string on it as well. Why am I not surprised? Now Project Joker, I wouldn't expect any less of it. It has been an absolute mission to try and get this head off. With different size nuts on the exhaust manifold, and one missing, and yeah, and I finally got to the last nut, and hopefully I can lever the exhaust manifold away a little bit, and then remove the cam cover, remove the belt, remove the alternator, and then we can actually finally get the head off and see what damage is that's been done to number 4. Okay, so that's the bolt off. So now hopefully I should be able to pry it away from, slightly away from the head. Yes. Perfect. The rocker cover gasket, that is really stuck on there. Someone's really kind of gone to town with their RTV. Come on. Oh, it's just the back. It's really stuck. Yes, finally. Yeah, that hasn't had too many oil changes. I've actually put the car on TDC on the crank, and from what I can tell, they've made a homemade mark on there, and the car's actually off. It's way advanced, it shouldn't be at that position. So next thing now is take off the belt. So we're ready now to remove the head bolts. Right, so moment of truth. Should be loose, which it is. Okay, cool. Before I remove that, let me make sure there's space on the bench. Okay, so let's get it off the exhaust manifold. let's get it onto the bench. All right, so Project Joker does definitely not disappoint. So number 4, look at that, it's actually melted away. Now, why has that happened? Is the ignition being too advanced? Has the injector leaned out on that one, potentially, or all of the above? My first impression would be when I put the engine to actually TDC, the timing was out on the cam by a good maybe 2-3 teeth. The distributor as well is way off where it should be there, and obviously somebody's kind of timed it up differently because they haven't realized that that shaft actually controls this. So that makes me think if they've got that wrong, they definitely didn't have a timing light to time the engine up. The head also looks like it's been badly corroded with no antifreeze, and it's literally all the wrong antifreeze. It's literally eaten this head alive almost. And this is number 4, and again you can see signs of definitely overheating, which makes me again think pre-ignition or very lean, because it's cracked there in between the seats, in between the exhaust and the inlet. So yeah, the head's toast and the block's toast. So gonna have to get back to the owner and see what course of action he needs to take. But with that, it could be a while before we actually see this back on the channel. So the video was going to end here, but there actually has been an update and some work I've done off camera. So I had a long conversation with the owner, and it just isn't viable to repair this and do the head. You might as well just start again with a new block. So I've given them a few options, either 2 litre 8 valve, 2 litre 16 valve ABF, a VR6 or a 20 valve turbo. So he's gonna kind of see what his options are, but whichever way it happens, so it's gonna be an engine conversion, so it's engine and gearbox out. So I've kind of suggested to him, well, he might as well get the engine bay done then in this case, because we're gonna remove it all. So as you can see, I've removed all the wiring and all the bits and pieces that are on there, and also because the battery tray was quite bad, needs to be welded anyway. So, you know, he was just gonna do that. But now that the engine and gearbox is coming out, like I said, might as well just get it all done. So it's going to be a full-on project. So there was an end of the video, but I'm now reshooting the video with an update of what I've removed. As you can see here in the boot, wiring harnesses and radiators and bits and bobs. And on the inside, again, true to Project Joker, you can see it had like a 9-inch nail holding the fuse box in place. Oh, only this car. Yeah, loads of fun this is. I nicknamed this Project Joker, but maybe I should have actually nicknamed it Can of Worms, because it just looks like the deeper you go into it, the worse it gets. All right, guys, this could be a while before it actually returns onto the channel. The next video, I'm hoping we'll be actually back on Project 3B, where we're gonna actually put the standalone Mega Square ECU on it, map it on the rolling road, and see what that gets, as well as there's gonna be maybe an air filter test at the same time, as well as the chips will actually be on eBay now. All right, guys, you know what to do. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, click on that notification bell, subscribe, support the channel, and buy some merch, man. Buy a cup, buy a mug, buy a t-shirt, buy a cap. Peace.